Look at that. I got little mushrooms. I'm trying to get my mushrooms in the foreground. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, look at those babies, huh? Look at those beasts. Magnificent. That's what I'm growing right now. That's where I'm at. God, look at them. And they're absolutely delicious too, I might add. Really, really good. I almost think I need a chair or something. Let me grab something to sit on. What have I got? There's nothing to sit on in here. What if I get a tool? Wait a second. I'll get a little tool kit to sit on. This should be good. There we go. Wheel that round. In the meantime, you can admire the mushrooms. Look at them. They're fantastic. They almost, it's like you want to reach out and eat them now, right? Huh? Don't you think? Oh. It's sort of hard to see me though, isn't it? Maybe this isn't the best setup. How is everybody? I just want you all to admire, to laud and adore the mushrooms that I'm growing. Now look at these things. Look at them, huh? Some more coming up there. This is gonna be good. All right, okay, I'll spare you that. I'll spare you that nonsense now. Whoop, clunk, bang, crash. Woo! Well, I'm sitting down because it's Sunday, Do I have glasses somewhere? I should have glasses somewhere. Let's see what the hell's going on. All right, back in a second. Let me find my glasses. Oh, there they are, over here. Okay. Oh, holy mother of incredibly sweaty old beasts. That is me, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't pretty. Trying to be fit. Hello, Stargate. What do you say? 120. Look at that. There we go. Okay, I have similar mushrooms in my bathroom. Oh, dear. Well, I better be on purpose, I'm hoping. Who are we saying? Hi to Candace. Hi to Bass. Hi to Amaya. How Candace. ALS. Lynette. Lexi K. Crazy Net. Crazy Nut Denmark. Lindsay. Megan. We got Ryan. Johnny. D.D. Myers. Steve Cherry and Son. Mikey. Candace. Amaya. Have I got everyone there? Do I got everyone? Megan first on the list today. Look at you. Very good. Very bad. Very fast. Very fast. Yeah, I got Mikey in there too, Steve. Dorte, how are ya? So I'm fogging up the glasses again today. Jane had to leave to go for dog walks and supply run. She's dropping some stuff off for my sister of all people. And in the meantime is getting to sort of hang out at a fairly safe distance from her friends and stuff and walk dogs and all that kind of stuff. So it's just Baz and me. Baz doing a magnificent stream. You go check him out. I am Iron Ham. Having a wonderful time doing some Stardew Valley, which I had said I might drop in on, but of course I thought, oh God, I haven't done my burn alert, so I better go do that. So I went and flung myself around the room. I made the mistake. I thought, oh, I'll do this low impact one because I thought, my knees and my ankles and stuff are feeling a bit worn out from all this walking and leaping around. Just fed your 2-year-old son. Fun, isn't it? What a cleanup. So I did that thinking, oh, well, they'll just take it a little easy on my limbs and stuff today, but holy crap, it kicked my butt. It may not have been leaping around and landing in harsh ways on things, but oh my God, it was crawling on the floor like a reptile. I'll tell you, the killer ones are these ones they call the Spider-Man plank, where you're planking and then you have to do these little Spider-Man moves as if you were like climbing up a wall. Oh, I don't know. Spider-Man does it. I know he does it. He uses visual effects, and that's what I need. Visual effects to get myself through the damn workout. Oh yeah, bacon and toast and home fries everywhere. Woohoo! What does the government have to steal our herd immunity and steal it and then force us into, what? Oh my God, what was that? What was that QAnon spout? What right does the government have to steal our herd immunity and steal it, then force us onto their own pharma cartel for immunity? Well, because herd immunity is going to kill too many people. Second Amendment for Canada. Herd immunity is there's too many people die with that. I mean, they did some math on it, I'm sure. And the way it's going in Canada right now anyways, I'm not sure there's an awful lot of vaccinations going on as it is. But I think it's very, very dangerous to be buying into any kind of big pharma government conspiracy thing right now, because we need to get vaccinated. I mean, I think there's no way around that. QAnon insult to dismiss? No, it's not a QAnon insult to dismiss.
it's the problem I have, Second Amendment, is I'm not dismissing what you say. I understand I understand it's a complicated issue. I mean, this is the fastest that a vaccination has ever been developed, and I think that makes a lot of people nervous. I love science. I'm a very sort of a lifelong learner. I love this stuff. Or a lifelong realizer of how little I know. And I feel like we've got to, you've got to just look at all the facts, Second Amendment. Just have a look, see what there is there. I think our best bet is to trust the system that we've put into place, that we've voted into place, that we have, admittedly is not perfect in any way. I have a lot of complaints about many governments, especially our Canadians, and the Americans to some extent. Actually, no, I have a problem with government in general. As I say, I would prefer the government could stay out of everything because I just don't trust them to run anything particularly well. But at the same time, I also feel like we've got to look after people. So, is that as well. And also, I can only tilt at windmills so far, right? I can only try to take down unfortunately, in some ways, you can't burn down the whole system and start all over again. So, I would say, look, if you're concerned about the pharma companies, then do the research, but make sure you're getting a good cross, a good cross section of the pharma companies that you're worried about. Same thing with the government. But honestly, I said this to a few people. I think I would trust our healthcare professionals over websites and news, and quote unquote news and blogs and stuff like that I can't validate. So I'm going with the Canadian, with whatever the Canadians come up with. I will vaccinate as soon as I am allowed to, and as soon as it's the right time, and as soon as I'm of the age and concern that they're at. So that's where I'm going. And frankly, I recommend everyone else do the same. I think the more people who are vaccinated, the better. We've been taking flu shots for years. It works. It takes the heat off our healthcare system as much as possible. I'm very concerned that we're not doing enough vaccination in Canada, honestly, at this point. I'm very, very concerned that we're in a race against these variants, and we're losing. In fact, we may have already given up the race in that we're just not vaccinating people here in Canada. So I don't know where I guess Second Amendment Canada, you must be in Canada too. Do the research. Hey, I don't have to. The choice is mine. No excuse. Just what? Okay. Well, if you're going to trust your own take on this stuff over the medical and scientific advice out there, well, then frankly, I don't. I completely disagree with you. LOL. You got extra room, David. My husband and I want to move to Canada. I don't know. This is the funny thing is I'm not sure Canada's got it sorted out right now. I don't share Second Amendment issues, but I'm very, very concerned about the state of vaccination in this country. And just to be really clear, Second Amendment, and anyone else who's got things that they disagree with me on, this is a great community. This is about, I want us to be able to debate this stuff. There's a friend of mine is doing a drive with these little bracelets that he's got, these silicone bracelets that say vaccinate on them. And the idea is that the money goes towards, I'm not sure which specific charity or what charities. I have to check with him on that, and I will find that out before I start, actually sending people links or anything. But the idea basically is that this is to get people talking about vaccinations. And if people have concerns about vaccinations, they can be debating this with people who feel that vaccinations are necessary, which I do. I am one of those people, and I'm not going to sugarcoat that. I'm not going to vary on that. We need to get vaccinated is my feeling. I believe that's the way it should be done. I don't know how to handle people who don't want to vaccinate, but I do think we want to be very, very careful about giving credence to movements and paranoia that is that's going to change that. Hey, Sebastian. See if I can get Baz to answer the door for us. Where are we going? I don't want to answer the door and have a door answered by, if they don't know. Hey, Baz, can you grab that? I'm just doing my burn and learn. Thanks, buddy. Don't forget a mask. Quick.
It's so great having a kid because you can yell at them like that. Okay, what do we got? Amendment for Canada. The government. What's sorry, I don't know. But there's a debate going on with that. Good. I mean, debate. Debate. Reasonable debate. I love that stuff. I think it's all very important in the scheme of things. So yeah, and also, the technology behind the vaccination is very cool. This mRNA stuff is very, very neat. It may just be a delivery, kiddo, but it could also be mom. I wonder if that's. Oh, it is mom. Oh dear. Oh, I would have rushed up if I'd known it was Jane. So I won't go upstairs with her right now because I'm not sure she's going to want to be thrust into the internet spotlight right away. So, who is here to derail chat with his vaccination? Well, I don't know. We don't really have mods on this, do we? So, okay, Wolf Sound. Woohoo! Okay, Emperador, how you doing? Questions of the day. What do you think? What do you think we can genes patented? Yeah, I worry about that. I mean, my biohacking friends looked up not my friends, the people that I met at this Biohack the Planet stuff. I was kind of impressed. They looked through what gene therapy was available. Uh-oh, low battery. Yoicks! Can't have that. I forgot to plug the phone in last night, I guess. Second Amendment for Canada. Are we having troubles? Let me know if there's any issues there. All right, let me see if I can do something here. Let's see what we can do. Can we chat viewing options? I don't know what I can do from the phone here, to be honest. I don't know what abilities I have. Let me see. I'm in my little chat here. I can look at the chat. Someone's Second Amendment's having fun. Boy, you're having some fun on the chat today, huh? David wants to censor me because I disagree. It's so funny. I've just said exactly the opposite of that. But that said, if you are causing issues, then I will remove. Okay. So, hide user on this channel. Thank you very much. Sorry, but I just can't have. I can't have that stuff. It's very frustrating to me because I do want everyone to have a voice, but I think that if you're not listening, and you're just going to start spouting stuff about us not listening to you, then that's a whole other thing. So I'm sure he'll come in, or they will come in as another user at some point. But let me flip this over, see if this works. Can I do that? Oh, no, orientation's locked. Never mind. I will go back to this. I don't have a very long cable, so I'll have to be in here. Hello, orientation. Are you back? Are you back? How does that work? Hey, baby, how you doing? How are ya? You excited? Oh, yeah. Somebody's had a fantastic time. Ooh, yeah. I know. Look at you. Look at you. Oh, my God. You are excited to be home, aren't you? Aren't you, you terrible beast? You're a terrible beast. Well, get my hand out of your mouth, my friend. This is you smell doggy. You smell very doggy dog. You're a very doggy dog right now. What are you doing? I know. It's very exciting, isn't it? Yes, I know. How's that for sound, everybody? We're here to chase away the trolls, is that right? Yeah? What are you doing? Oh, okay, very good. I don't know. He doesn't knows what to do that. She's not quite sure what to do when I start talking. When I start talking dog, we get a little. Go on, get out of here. Get out of here. Go on. Go. No one loves you. Go on. Go see someone else. Go on. Get out of here. Go away. There you go. Oh my gosh. Gotta love that dog. Someone who understands me, it's so true. Sweet, loving dog, here to protect dad, or to attack and kill him, possibly. Maybe the way to go. Mikey says hi to the doggy. All right, Mikey says hi, dog. What do we got? Hey, David, big fan here. I love your acting in starring Atlantis, and so did my friend and his mom. One of their favorite things to do together was to watch Atlantis every week, and it was on. Oh, fantastic! I'm so glad. Thank you. One of the things I loved about Atlantis was that it was kind of a family viewing thing. People really sort of like that stuff, and I like the idea. The Jason Momoa of dogs there. Cute, very cute. Really interesting. The Aquaman of dogs. David, do your best Australian accent. Oh, I don't know. I'm not very good at accents. I try, but it's like, 3 days ago I saw a rig that could haul that tanker. You want to get out of here, you talk to me. It's just a shame. It's an embarrassment to all Australians. I apologize. And Australia, again, having a freaking tough time. Fighting COVID, fighting forest fires. I love you out there. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Just absolutely love it out there. They're a tough, lovely, and unique country, that place, and people, and they have just had a freaking. They are like the first line of fire when it comes to this whole global climate crap. It's just terrible. David, would you like to see Disney acquire the rights to the entire Stargate series? Well, if they did something with it, maybe. I mean, I heard rumors that MGM was being bought by Amazon, and they're pretty good at reviving sci-fi, aren't they? That'd be pretty cool, actually. I would kind of like that. Because that's something Amazon doesn't own yet. All right. Oof, Disney had enough of a media empire. I know there's a lot of media empires out there, isn't there? Do you think Atlantis did exist? I mean, I think it's probably based on something, right? I mean, I think there's always an element of truth to a lot of those things. What was Emperador asking about? I've forgotten. Emperador's usually got some great questions. So I thought I would scroll up and see what he or she or they had said. It's too far up. Oh my God, there's too much going on. Hey, Tammy. There is a lot going on. Holy moly. I didn't even see what Second Amendment was about. But as soon as you start getting told that you're shutting things down when you're not shutting things down, it just sounds, it sounds a bit much. Okay, what do we got? Let us see. Is there... Sorry, I can't find you, Impedidor. I'll have to get you another time. Do you support nuclear energy? Yes, I do. It's one of those things. I feel like we've had. I feel like it almost makes the most sense. There are obviously concerns with it. Obviously, we've had issues with it in the past. I also feel like a lot of the sort of marketing for that stuff, a lot of the issues that we've had with nuclear energy is sort of being blown out of proportion by existing energy suppliers. So I do think that's part of the issue with that stuff. I mean, it's a very, very certainly the new stuff is very, very clean. There is much less pollution. Impedidor was saying, what do you think? Genes can be patented. Yes, that's Impedidor. Okay, so let me just wrap up nuclear first, because it's just so easy to do. I do think that would be, I thought, growing up, I thought we were all going to have little, nuclear, no, if I could say it, nuclear power cells that, ran our houses in the way that we have generators and stuff. I mean, the problem, as always, is that, humankind tends to be greedy and stupid and not always make the best choices, and I think that's what we've witnessed in a couple of situations in the past with this stuff. And also, I think that there is a big push to continue with with oil and gas because they're established. They've got huge abilities to influence government and on a local and federal level. I mean, so this I have never been a big fan of burning old fossilized forests and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I always thought it was dinosaurs, but it turns out it's actually like a big part of it was a big part of it was something to do with mushrooms, wasn't it? Was it some kind of a mushroom or something that was involved in that you couldn't break down certain types of wood wouldn't break down. So certain types of wood wouldn't break. No, that's right. I've got it wrong. Certain types of wood wouldn't break down. Let me know if I've got this wrong. But that certain types of wood wouldn't break down the way they do now because of this type of fungus or whatever it was didn't exist, or type of bacteria didn't exist. So that all these big giant seams or puddles or oceans of oil that we've been sucking back existed because another entity didn't exist, if that makes sense. Entity, that's the wrong word, isn't it? Whether it's, I can't remember if it was a fungus or a bacteria or what it was, but there was something that broke this wood down. And once it started breaking the wood down, we didn't have as much oil and stuff. So this oil was created during a period of huge amount, like massive amounts of material available for the creation of this oil. And then of course that then slowed right down as this I think it was a fungus or a mushroom, began to actually be able to break down the wood like that. So be safe up there in Canada. Yeah, no kidding, huh, Rabbit Gecko? I mean, we got to just basically stay in while we can. Although I'm at work. I mean, that's, It's the weird thing. Apparently, there's an article, a rather damning article about how we're in lockdown, but the film industry's still going, and I'm definitely torn on that. Although, I guess because there's a lot of money in the film industry, that will, I'm sure, sway politicians, and also it has a knock-on effect. So we go back to work highly tested, masks and all that kind of crap. But as a result, we employ a lot of people, and as a result, there are a lot of restaurants and supply companies and stuff that can sort of remain in business that perhaps wouldn't if we weren't. So that's the hope. Not allowed to say what I'm working on now, but one of them starts very soon. And one of them's already on the air. So there you go. And when I say on the air, I mean internets. What are your thoughts on 3D printing structures on the moon or Mars? I think it's brilliant, Johnny. The whole idea of 3D printing in space just makes sense. I mean, there was an amazing article, probably not an article, knowing me, it was probably like a YouTube video, where they talked about trying to sort of gather up some of this space junk, process it, and then reuse some of those incredibly valuable materials to create the filament or whatever necessary to do 3D printing. But there was a gorgeous Mars sort of proof of concept thing that a company did that basically dug up Earth from the planet, the Mars surface, and then used it as a sort of a cement that could be squeezed out like a giant cake decorating machine to create these structures. And I think that's just absolutely brilliant. I mean, I'm a big fan of robotics doing all this work. I think, I am very torn on human exploration of other. I'm not torn about human exploration. I'm very torn on human settlement, because I feel like we've been here before, where we've jumped into countries that we felt we had the right to, rape and pillage, basically, whether that be the people or the resources. And I'm a little concerned that our approach to dividing this planet up into little countries that we can fight over and then go to other planets to do the same just makes it very, very, I don't know. It seems like there could be some problems there. So I'd rather we got our problems here sorted out and then took off to other planets. But I know that's probably not going to happen. And I'm also very concerned that the people who have done the best on this planet are the ones who want to leave it. The Elon Musks and the Jeff Bezos, who have more money than God, and the first thing they want to do is basically figure out how to get off this planet. I think I worry very much about a haves and have-nots. I worry very much about an expanse-like existence. We're going to need a plan. Absolutely. We got to figure something out, or we got to die out, one of the two. And I'll tell you, the way we've handled this pandemic, I do sometimes wonder if maybe, thinning the herd, is not a good thing. But I do wonder if maybe the part of the issue we have is overpopulation. But that's such it's such a horrible thing to even consider. But the idea that there are too many humans, we're doubling our population in a lifetime now. I mean, that's a terrifying increase of numbers. So, but I'm also a big fan of technology, and I believe technology can save us. So I believe that as we create problems, we can solve them. I'm just annoyed at idiotic voters. It's a weird thing, isn't it? I mean, what do you do when you don't agree with the population, or what do you do when you don't agree with the population? What do you do when you're living in idiocracy, like that movie? What are you doing when you feel like the wrong people are running the planet, running the countries? I don't know. I'm torn on that. I mean, what's the difference between civil disobedience, and actual, actually, overthrowing a government? I mean, there's a lot. I have a lot of concern about that stuff. I felt that, obviously I felt what happened in the Capitol was a freaking travesty. Because big part of that I felt was just a lot of people being misinformed. I do think that, unfortunately, sort of the algorithms online, the algorithms that love it when we start fighting, because we create so much content back and forth and watch time and what they call it, engagement. The engagement's very high on this video. The engagement's very high on this video because there are people fucking shouting at each other, excuse my language, and spouting hate and lies at each other. So I mean, I think we've got to be very careful this has always been the issue, right? You've got to be careful what you wish for. You've got to be careful what you ask AI to do for you. If you ask artificial intelligence to get you the best watch time, the most profitable watch time, if you want them to surface the most profitable, the most popular videos, it has nothing to do with what's best for the society that you're doing that for. So we don't need to thin the herd. We need to bring politically and economically backwards countries to the modern times, and their birth rates will go down. But Doom Dodgers, what are the backward countries? I mean, like literally, what are the backward countries at this point? I mean, Canada is like number 63 or something on the list of vaccinations. India is doing better than we are with their vaccinations. Well, last I heard, I mean, again, I've sort of been trying to avoid the doom scrolling, to be honest. I should look up more about this stuff. So I don't want to, again, don't take what I'm saying here as the news. Look it up for yourself. That's the whole point of this thing. It's the whole point of my Tech Bandits is it's like, I don't know, let's figure it out. Let's find out. We've been talking about these quote unquote third world countries for a while now. I mean, look at freaking America right now. I mean, that's my country. I chose and fought and worked hard to become an American citizen. And, and I'm sort of shocked at how that a disease that we saw coming ravaged it so horrendously. And I'm very, very worried that the other country that my parents fought and worked hard to get citizenship to is about to make the same mistake. And of course, I was born in England, so that was a bit of a disaster too. So I mean, the bit of a disaster is horrendous. But the so-called economically well-off countries have done horrendously with this stuff. That's what worries me. So yes, there's a certain irony to Jason being on Atlantis before he was Aquaman, the king of Atlantis. Yes, indeed. Very good point there, Jason. And he was also, I used to joke about him being, Conan instead of Ronan, and then next thing you know, he's Conan too. So there you go. An old man with how to make this magic box work. All right, existing AI is trapped within a substrate of neural networks. It is not a computer. It's running on a computer. I think we need digital AI. Johnny Wednesday. Not sure that I entirely comprehend all of that stuff, but basically, yes, we're not talking about true intelligence at this point. Neural networks simulate the process that we think the brain uses to do this stuff, I believe, but it is not truly a living thinking thing by any means. Artificial intelligence is a bit like Bitcoin. It's a bit of a sort of a hip term for companies to sell their wares right now. So, come on, McKay, says Rascally Wabbit. What do we got? Canada 2.8% vax. India 0.4% vax. Interesting. Okay, Techie Nick, but what's the population of the two countries? I'd be very curious to know what that means, because the percentage-wise, 2.8%. 2.8% sounds pretty freaking low for a country with so many resources and money at its disposal and such a small population. Whereas India, 0.4%, while very worrying, is probably a very large number of people, would be my guess. But anyways, Ghost of the Shell. What a great! That was so good, wasn't it? I love Ghost of the Shell. I got to get my son to sit down and watch Akira at some point. I mean, it's a bit grown up, but I do want him to watch that at some point. And I remember reading a few months before this COVID crap, a team of Southern Korean scientists discovered the very first SARS-CoV strain in Antarctica or something. No, I didn't know that. This is the people. There's a lot of sort of conspiracy stuff. Oh, that's good. America's going to hit 45 to 50% vaccinated. I mean, they've really picked up the pace of that stuff, DNW. It's unfortunate that it's so late in the game, but they seem to be doing a good job of rolling it out. I think part of the advantage that America has over Canada with this stuff is, first off, our healthcare system is government run, and we're technically not allowed private healthcare. I mean, there was a fight against the idea, the concept of a two-tier system here. So they completely, the government runs all of the healthcare system here, and our government is freaking just terrible at organizing this stuff. We've also got a very geographically dispersed population. While the vast majority of it is along the border with America, there are an awful lot of sort of people peppered across the rest of it, and a lot of indigenous populations and stuff that obviously don't have the healthcare facilities that the big cities have and such. So we do want to get out there and make sure they get vaccinated first, basically, because a virus would just devastate a community like that. Um, there are aspects of private that you're allowed. It's a weird mix. And the other issue that we have here is the government will claim to cover everything, but then not cover things and then not offer alternatives to it. So I think there's a fair amount of sort of cross-border shopping going on where people will fly down the states to get things done when they need to, thus basically establishing a two-tier system. I mean, I would like to see us more in line with somewhere like England, where there are private options for things as well. So the basics are covered. In Ontario, we used to have the Ontario health insurance plan. And basically what that did was that covered the basics for everybody. But if you wanted more, anything over and above that, you wanted, second opinions and you wanted more than just your basic emergency consistent healthcare, you would pay for that. And while that is, yes, absolutely unfair, it does take the burden off the public healthcare system. So I'm definitely for a split system, absolutely. I don't want people being not getting the healthcare that they need, especially in emergencies and stuff. The first thing you check should be a pulse, not a bank account, right? So I want that to remain in Canada, but I do think we need to open this up because it's killing. I don't feel like we've got the same kind of research we used to have. I mean, there is an engine of opportunity and an engine that keeps research alive and exciting when there's a commercial aspect to this. But again, I'm also very, very concerned about this COVID thing. I don't understand why we're not sharing how this stuff is made, and there should be no why. We should give as many vaccines as possible, and I know that the big part of that is because of the commercial aspects of it. But I also feel like that stuff should be shared. What about like wartime measures? Where you just step in and go like, well, no, sorry, you're now making vaccines. You were making shampoo. You're now making vaccines for everybody. Or you were making dog treats. You're now making capsules for whatever medication is needed. I feel like this is a war. This is the greatest war that many of our generations have seen. It's a war against a virus. Like this hasn't, this is a pandemic. Pandemic is thrown around like it's nothing. This is a global virus that kills millions of people. I don't understand why we're, I think, I don't understand a lot of the debate on this stuff. Anyways, the needs of the many should outweigh the needs of the few. Ooh, Catherine, it's so tough, isn't it? It's so tough. I mean, oh, it's so awful, isn't it? Because you go like, yes, what's best for the population is what's best for everyone. And then it comes down to your kid or your grandparent or your parent or yourself. We make choices based on emotion as well as, raw logic. It's like we were talking the other day. I mean, I'm sure things would be it would be a lot different if we were all Vulcans. We would have like, we would have, dissenters would have been taken out or rounded up or whatever and vaccinated whether they want them or not. I mean, we would have shut down. Lockdowns would have been like China. I mean, they would have just stepped in. I mean, a very a very restrictive government is going to be much more effective at shutting down a virus like this. But with that comes the obvious problems of what that does to human rights and dignity and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, shouldn't part of the population remain apart to limit the evolution of the virus? This is the idea. I mean, this is the idea. I think that if speaking only as the Toronto that I know and love, in Toronto, if they had just shut us down completely, if they had fully locked us down and to some extent enforced that lockdown for a month, 2 months,
we would be in a much better situation. And I just think that this half-assed approach to it, and this idea that, okay, so Toronto's in lockdown, but a half-hour drive away, you're not in lockdown. What happens? Everyone in Toronto drives off to do their freaking shopping at Walmart just outside of the city or whatever. I don't understand. The other thing I don't understand is why big shops are open and little shops are closed. I just think it's being so ham-fisted in its approach. So, but that said, I can't organize a freaking stream. So, I'd be the last person who should be talking about how this stuff is done. Yeah, the UK's been a disaster too. The UK, all of my homelands. I've got 3 passports. I've got American, British, and Canadian passports. Countries are dropping the ball on this stuff. Although I think the U.S. is beginning to pick up now. We're seeing a lot of vaccination happening there. I think that's quite impressive, and England as well. I mean, not only is my little mummy being vaccinated in London, but my little sister has as well. I mean, which is extraordinary. It got me very nervous. It's like, wait a second, why aren't I? Shouldn't I? Do I need to be on the? But she's on the list because she had respiratory issues, right? So, it's just to slow the virus. It's not to stop the virus. The lockdown is just to stop people from being idiots and spreading it. That's all. That's all we're trying to do. The idea that it's going to stop the virus is not the point. The point is just not to overwhelm the healthcare, the hospitals and the healthcare workers and stuff. And the longer it drags on, the harder it is on these systems, and the more likelihood that you're going to have a breakdown in the way this stuff is being handled. So I'm concerned because, the kid goes back to school on Thursday. They have opened up schools again, and so he's supposed to go back to school on Thursday, and I'm really torn on that. I really am. But I also understand that social interaction is important, although I would argue for him, he could care less at this point, but he talks to his friends all the time anyway. So, all right, I should wrap this up. I've been babbling on for way too long, and I got to go say hello to my lovely wife who's returned. I've had the dog very excited to see me. I've got to go do the same thing to my wife now, run around and bark at her and show how excited I am that she's back. All right. I don't know how to post links, Justa. I don't know. You can try. To be honest, I haven't figured any of this stuff out. The first person I've actually had to block was today. So that was an eye opener to me. And I hate the fact that I had to do it because I'd rather people be able to speak. I like the idea that people can have opinions here that are counter to mine or even counter to the general population. I will not have these untruths I can't have someone on here saying that I am banning. Oh, look, David's going to ban me because he doesn't like what I agree with. And it's like, even though we've just had a very, I thought, quite reasonable conversation about it where I didn't dismiss their ideas right away. And I don't know, it bugs me. No disinformation, thanks. Yeah, that'd be nice. I'd rather not have disinformation. But again, I would also say that anything that I say here is my own, opinions, and if I can back it up with facts, fantastic, I will. And if it's, but for the most part, I'm just like you. I'm just learning what I can from the interwebs and have my own opinions on these things. So, which can easily be changed because I bend like a reed in the wind. Anyways, all right. Look, I will say a fair and adieu. We are going to do a 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're doing a Dungeons and Dragons session with the Tech Bandits, which should be really fun because James R. Gurney, go follow him on YouTube he's Jim the Evo on YouTube or James R. Gurney over on Twitch.tv. We're Tech Banditry over there. So we're going to do a live stream of that. James has asked us all to come up with what is the worst thing that our character has ever done. And we have a couple of really good ones. Baz has a good one. I have, of course, a brilliant one that plays completely into my dual existence as a sort of really stupid half-orc whose icon is Barney the Dinosaur. So I get a lot of this too. So I get to do 2 voices. 2 voices for the price of 1. And I always forget to do it. So anyways, there you go. So see you for D&D at 3 p.m. If I get a chance, I'll come on a little early, but I always say that and it never comes to fruition because I'm always doing something. In fact, now I should probably be showering. But all right, check out the link. What is the link? Justify's got a link in there. What is the link? What is the link to Justify? Let me know quickly what it is. I don't know if it saves
Does it save the links? I mean, if I go back and look at this, will I see the links later? Good day, everyone. In spite of our differences, I hope you're all well. Ah, well, very good. Rebel Time Lady, in spite of distance, I hope you're all well. Very good. Yes, yes, well put. Hello, Czech Republic. Wimpy1. Just a Fry says, I drew you and SG characters. Oh, fantastic. Thank you very much. Tammy, you should definitely watch today's D&D. Very good. Tok'ra have a brain or DNA marker, all the knowledge of the Tok'ra and the Tok'ra hosts before them. Very good, Pamela. Thank you. Good to know. You all, no matter how we disagree, I'd always try and save your life. Well, this is the funny thing is, you ask people about whether they would pay for people's health care, and it's like, forget that. I'm not paying for some loser's health care. But if you see them bleeding to death on the side of the road, I would say the vast majority of us Americans would probably stop and help them. So it's a weird little dichotomy here. We have been sold a bill of goods on a lot of this stuff. I think there's so much misinformation and so much back and forth on this stuff. I think the reality is people like to think they are good. And I think in the most cases, they like to think they would do good. We don't always make the right choices, because of whatever those reasons may be. But there's a fantastic quote from Obama who said that we have to remember that bad people sometimes do good things and good people sometimes do bad things, and that is a very difficult thing for us all to sort of get our heads around. But I think that is something that I think crosses any sort of political or sort of conceptual bounds of how you want to live your life. I think it's important to remember that, and also just remember. I mean, I think there was a great was it Robin Williams who said that don't judge people on what you're seeing at that moment, because you don't know the life they've lived. You don't know what kind of demons they're coping with. And it's funny because I say this, for years and years and years, I had no time for, I didn't want to, if I was arguing with someone, the other person was wrong. I've definitely sort of softened on this a lot. I think a big part of it's with the kid as well. The kid sort of forces you to really look at stuff and go like, is this right? Or is this just sort of dogma that I've learned along the way? And so that's been kind of interesting. And also, honestly, frankly, just being on stream, doing the streaming stuff, I've just heard a lot of different perspectives on people and different sort of stories about what got them where they are and their beliefs and stuff like that. And I just, it's frankly, you learn more by listening than you do by shutting people out and yelling at them, right? So I figured might as well go that way. I'd rather be smarter than right. Okay, so here he goes. Yeah, Robin Williams was amazing, wasn't he? Kids teach you to be fair. No one wins an argument. There was a quote I gave Baz the other day where he said, good people forgive. No, what is it? Stupid people revenge. Good people forgive. Intelligent people ignore. I thought it was kind of a great quote. All right, I'm out of there. You know what you can do if you want to? You can put your artwork on the Discord. If you go to oh God, where will you go? How do I do this? Go to thetechbandits.com. Go check out the Tech Banditry streams. There's a link to the Discord there. There is an art channel in the Discord where people post art, and every so often I'll pop in there and go, ooh, ah. So definitely do that. All right, everyone, I shall say be safe, be kind, be brilliant. And until we geek again, I will say cheerio and huzzah! See y'all. See you today, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. D&D, we shall do battle. Bye.